Good morning, dear students. Hope all are fine. As you can see here, subject history already we have started. Here now the next topic is the Tughlaq dynasty. The time period is 1320 to 1414. Near about you can say that 96 years they were ruling over there, the Tughlaq dynasty. Under the Tughlaq dynasty, the first ruler was there Ghayasuddin Tughlaq. Time period is 1320 to 25. Here as you are watching that we are studying about the Ghayasuddin Tughlaq. He was the first ruler of Tughlaq dynasty, or you can say he was the founder of Tughlaq dynasty. Then what he has done, he put down the rebellions and strengthened the Sultanate period by restoring the peace. Means he don't want to fight. He was against that. Okay. Then he was died in an accident. After him, there is his son Jona Khan succeeded him under the title Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Ghayasuddin Tughlaq's son was Jona Khan. Okay, Jona Khan. And he took the title. Jona Khan, he took title Muhammad bin Tughlaq. As you can see here, Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Okay. Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he was ascended the throne when after his father death, no. So it means 1325 to 1351. The time period is 1325 to 1351. He was very powerful ruler. We came to know about his reign through some travelogues, like one famous traveler was there. His name is Ibn Battuta. Ibn Battuta, as you heard about the Ibn Battuta. He was from Morocco. Ibn Battuta. We heard no that poem. इब्न बतूता पहन के जूता निकल पड़े तूफ़ान में, थोड़ी सी हवा नाक में घुस गई, थोड़ी घुस गई कान में. The same Ibn Battuta. Okay. So he has written about the Muhammad bin Tughlaq's dynasty, that how powerful he was, how intelligent he was, what he has done. First thing, he has imposed the taxation reform in the Doab. Taxation reform in the Doab. Taxation reforms in the Doab. Okay. And under this, what he has done, as according to the king, as you can see, just suppose this is whole his territory. Okay. And under this territory, some place might be fertile, no, some place might be barren, is it? Some place might be mixed. So what he has done, because all have to pay the same taxes, whether you are living in a fertile zone or whether you are living in a barren zone or in a desert regions, as like suppose this is the place of river. Okay, so this region, it should be fertile, no, this one is fertile ones. But if here suppose this is a desert, so this region should be a barren ones. So for that, what he has done means, those who are living in such places near the rivers, in Doab places, there he increased the taxes. They have to, if suppose they have to pay the 50% tax, then in this condition, the person, those who are living under the desert region, they have to pay tax just 20%. So his policy was good, because they are living in a fertile region, so they can pay the more tax. They are living in a desert region, so they can pay the less tax. Is it? No. So his policy was good. But what happened in the same time period when he has imposed these taxes, in same there was a famine. And due to famine, these persons are also those who are living in Doab region, they are also unable to pay the tax. And what the soldiers of the king, they were doing, they were forcing them, the villagers, asking them, they said, no, once king has decided means you have to pay, means you have to pay. So it leads revolt, because they are unable to pay the tax. But here the soldiers of the kings, they were asking them, no, you have to pay. So that's why revolt took place, and this policy was failed. Now the second, what he has done in second policy, as transfer of capital. Second policy of transfer of capital. Transfer of capital. So in this, what happened, as suppose here you can see this is the territory of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Okay, so his capital was here. Okay, his capital was here, and from here to here, it's very impossible, no, to manage, or from here to there, it's also very impossible to manage, no. So what he has decided that he should transfer his capital from Delhi to Devagiri, as this is Delhi and here is it Devagiri. So he was decided that his capital should be in center. Okay, so when it's in center, from here he can be managed this region also, from this place also, from there also, and from that side also. So that's why he decided to shift his capital. So what he has done, he has moved from here to here. Okay, so while moving, all have to move. all have to shift, whether you are a male, female, old, children, cattle, animals, everyone moving from here to here. And that time there is, from coming here to here, in between there is no shelter, no drinking water facilities, no hospitals, nothing was there, no transportation, nothing was there, no. So while moving from here to here, so many people, they become sick, so many even died also. So now what happened, when he came to know all these problems, now he has decided that we should move back to Delhi. So it means when they are coming from here to here, in between, when they are in between, that time only he realized that there is a lots of problem shifting capital from Delhi to Devagiri. So once again they move back, again they move back. So when they again move back, again they have to cover the same distance. No, so this was also very long journey, tiring journey. They have lost their so many things, like their old people, their cattle, animals, children. So that's why this policy was also failed, shifting of capital. The next policy is introduction of token currency. Introduction of token currency. In this, what happened, as now he was trying to start some new tokens, as like he was started silver and gold, silver and gold. And one side there is a token already in the market, that was copper and brass, that was copper and brass. Okay, so now what he has done, he has said कि whether you will go with silver coin or golden coin, you will get a thing or amount, same goods as you are getting from this copper or brass coins. Okay, so in this way he was thinking that the gold will come in the market, and from market it come in his treasury. But what happened, as the people knows very well, the gold means gold, is it no? And brass means brass. So what the people used to do, they used to come with this brass coins in the market. They purchase the things as they are purchasing, suppose this is 10 rupees coin. Okay, so they are coming, they purchase the good, suppose they purchased 5 rupees. Now the remaining 5 rupees, no, they want remaining 5 rupees. So for this remaining 5 rupees, what they used to do, when the shopkeepers return them this brass, that time they said, no, I want gold coin. And in return they are taking the gold coin. They are giving this 10 rupees brass, and in returning they are taking 5 rupees in gold. So in this way what happened, all the brass and copper comes in market, and all the silver and gold goes in the people's treasury. So this policy was also failed. This is Khorasan's expedition. Okay, so under this what happened, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he had ambition. What ambition? That he want to capture or become an empire, Central Asia. Now for his purpose, he recruited a large number of soldiers and equipped them with weapons. Well, if you are, this is, suppose this is Asia, if this entire place, blackboard, if it's Asia and you are having the ambition, you are living in one of the smaller portion, and you are having a ambition that you captured or rule over the center Asia. So to become a ruler of this Central Asia, you need a large number of soldiers, is it? Large number of soldiers. Also you need a large number of equipped weapons. Is it? So what he has done to fulfill his ambition to become a emperor of Central Asia, he has recruited a large number of soldiers and also given them advanced salary, 1 year advance salary. And what happened now, these soldiers, they after 1 year they deny, they are not ready to fight for Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So in this way this plan was also failed. Now we are coming on next plan, that is known as a Karachal expedition. In this Karachal expedition, in this what happened, in order to secure the north frontier of the Sultanate, the Sultan sent an army to Kangra region, Himachal Pradesh and Tibet. What happened, as we have seen, he wanted to secure, if suppose this is a region, territory, so this is north side, is it? This is west, east and south. So he wanted to secure this position, north west. Why? Because they themselves also coming from this way only. They themselves enter this way. So he knows all the outsiders, they used to come this side only to capture his territory. So what he has done, he was devoted and extremely laborious once. This thing you knows, because he was ruling from 25 to 51 years, means 26 years continuous he was ruling. But his all the planning was failed. Here, as a consequence, he began to lose out in Bengal, Gujarat, Warangal, etc. Bengal, Gujarat, Warangal, all these he has lost. Then there is a two independent and powerful kingdom came up. After this, there is two independent powerful kingdom came up, that was known as a, that is also in south region, and that was known as a Vijayanagar and Bahmani. Vijayanagar, and second one is Bahmani kingdom. Bahmani. Okay. So now with this, Muhammad bin Tughlaq is and now we are going to see the another one. He was known as a Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Now the next topic is फिरोज शाह तुगलक, फिरोज शाह तुगलक. Okay, his time period is 1351 to 1388. Now what happened? He was cousin of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. He was cousin of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Okay. Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Now what the nobles they have done? They made him sultan. The noble system was there, and what the nobles they have done? Nobles made him sultan. They made him sultan. Now the Firoz Shah Tughlaq cannot be speak against these nobles, because the nobles only were there, those who made him sultan. Okay, Firoz Shah, he was known as a reforming ruler. What he has done? He has established new towns like Firozabad. Heard about? Firozabad. He has established Firozpur. Then Jaunpur, and Hisar. Hard name, no? Hisar. Okay, so these 4 cities built by him. Hisar, Firozabad, Firozpur, Jaunpur and Hisar. Then he has also set up 2 departments. That department was known as a Diwan-e-Khairat. The department was known as a Diwan-e-Khairat. Diwan-e-Khairat. So under this, as the name is here, Diwan-e-Khairat means this is especially for the poor and needy people, especially for the poor and needy ones. Then another department was there, Diwan-e-Bandagan, means department of slave. Diwan-e-Bandagan. As here you can see. Diwan-e-Bandagan. Okay, so under this is especially for the slaves. This department is especially for the slaves. As we have seen, one department was there, Diwan-e-Khairat, especially for the poor and needy ones, and this is Diwan-e-Bandagan, especially for the slaves. Here, what he has done, he built many tanks, wells, hospitals and rest houses. What happened when he was there? Feroz Shah Tughlaq, he was his nephew. He has built many wells, hospitals, rest houses, which you can say the restaurant also, rest houses. Okay. Why he has done this all things? Because he saw that when his uncle was there and his uncle was shifting the capital from here to here, means from Delhi to Devagiri, in between there is no shelter, no wells, no hospitals, no restrooms, nothing were there, no. So that's why he has built so many tanks, wells, irrigation system, rest houses, hospitals in these places. Okay, because he saw his uncle's condition. Irrigation system, as we have seen here, the river Yamuna to the city, especially for the Hisar, the river Satluj for Ghaggar, river Ghaggar to Firozabad, and Mandvi and Sirmaur hills to Hansi and Haryana. With this, Feroz Shah also had many Sanskrit works translated into Persian and Arabic. After Feroz Shah's death, the empire disintegrated and many regions become independent. So when the many regions become independent, it means now the someone new powerful king was there. So for that we are going to study about the Timur's invasion. Now we are going to see about the Timur's invasion. Okay. Timur's invasion. Time period is Timur invasion 1398. Now here, as if we are going to make our country, so our country like this way, no? Is it? And all the rulers, they used to came from this way. Is it? Entered India from this way. So here the Timur is also entered India in this way, and here is Delhi. So what he has done, he has looted near about 1 lakh people, killed by him only, and whatever things he has looted from here, the money, jewelry, even artisans also, good skilled persons, all he took back to the Samarkand. Okay, and Samarkand was his capital. Samarkand. And here, with that money, what he has done, he has beautified, built a building, palaces, mosque, grand buildings. Okay, these all things he has built in Samarkand. Whatever he has looted from here, use that money to beautify his capital. Okay, then now we are going to see about his reign. So while returning from Delhi to Samarkand, that time what he has done, he has appointed one of his trusted person. The person name is Khizr Khan. Khizr Khan. Okay. So he was here as his administration under the shadow of Timur's. He was taking care of this place. So as here now you can see the administration in Tughlaq's rule. In this, the first thing, the Sultan was here. He was the most powerful person. All the powers he kept in his hand. But the nobles were there. The nobles, they wanted that the power should be in their hands. So when such kind of condition was there, it leads a revolt. So there were revolts, one after another, and the Sultan have to suppress all these revolts. Now the second thing was there, the ulemas were there. They were the religious teachers, and what they wanted that the Sharia law should be back. Whatever decision is going to be taken, it's taken according to the Sharia. Okay, so if powerful king is there, he is not going to be kneel down before all these ulemas. But when the weak ruler is there, he has to be follow all things whatever they used to ask. Okay, now the second point is, under the administration we are going to see about the court. In court system, what happened here in Tughlaq dynasty, it was very ceremonial. It was very ceremonial. Under this, what as Balban was started, Sizda and Pabos. Sizda and Pavos. Under this, they have to do the Sizda for their Sultan and kiss the feet of the Sultan. Okay, so this is known as a Sizda and Pabos. And the king, he was having his fixed place. The rest of the nobles, court administrations, heads, ambassador, they were standing their fixed place, and like this way they start their court proceeding. The nobility, under that we have seen Afghan and Turks. Afghan and Turks, they were the very powerful. In some places what they have done, they have appointed their slaves, trustee persons as a commander also, or in some places as a governor. Then here in Tughlaq's period, there were 4 major departments. The first department is Diwan-e-Wazarat. This is finance, means finance department. Then Diwan-e-Risalat, religious matter, related to the religious matter. The third department is Diwan-e-Arsh, related to military affairs. Then the fourth department is Diwan-e-Insha, related to royal correspondence. As we are going to see about the nobles in that department, what happened, the wazir was there. The wazir, he was working as, like you can say, the prime minister. Okay, he was observing all the works. Under his observation, all the work took place. Then second person was there. First is wazir. Then second was there, which is known as a qazi. So as the name was there, the qazi means the chief judge. Okay, he was taking care of the justice. Then another was there which is known as a Bakshi. Which is known as a Bakshi. He was there to take care of the army, paymaster for the army, nobles, and now the next one was there, the army was Ariz-e Mumalik. Means Ariz-e Mumalik means chief commander of army. Then there is this is all for the nobility or their departments. Now the next is their land control and the Ikta system. The next topic is land control and the Ikta system. Land control and the Ikta system. So now we are going to see. So here, what is the meaning of Iktas? Iktas means the grant of lands to Iktadars. Those who are receiving the grant, they were known as a Iktadars. But here this grant is only allotted for 3 to 4 years. After this time period, this grant is going to be passed in another region. Okay, so it means this is not a permanent one. This is not a permanent. This is just only one of the administrative part of the Tughlaq dynasty.